Well, I'm so pleased that you all came today. I was hoping the sun would be out, but I know the sun is out someplace because we have the first of Mas Masamoto's peaches here for this occasion, which makes it very auspicious. I'm Alice Waters, and I'm the owner of Chez Penny's restaurant in Berkeley, California, and founder of the Edible Schoolyard project. And we are standing here at the edge of the Edible Schoolyard. This is where it began 20 years ago. I have the great privilege today to introduce Janet Napolitano, President of the University of California. Now, she is going to make a very important announcement. And I'm extremely excited and very hopeful because I know she believes, as I do, that public education is the best way to solve the problems of this world. So I am putting all my eggs in her basket. And here they are. Just out of the chickens out of the chickens this morning. And so I'm giving them to you as a precious. Thank you.
That is one of the best introductions I have ever had. Thank you, Alice. And thanks to all who are here today to help us launch the University of California Global Food Initiative. This initiative grew out of a collective commitment made by all 10 University of California chancellors, as well as the head of our Agriculture and Natural Resource Division, we call it A&R, as well as the national labs we work with. It is a commitment to apply a laser focus on what we can do as a public research university in one of the most robust agricultural areas in the world to take on one of the world's most pressing issues. Our goal is audacious and it is far-reaching. It is our intent to do everything in our power to put the world on a pathway to feed itself in ways that are nutritious and sustainable. And I would note that by the year 2025, 1 billion additional people will live on this already stressed planet. I would note also that today, as we stand here, 8 billion people, most of them in the developing world, suffer from chronic hunger or serious micronutrient deficiencies. Another 1/2 billion, primarily in the industrialized areas of the world, are obese. Put on top of that, the increasing pressure on our natural resources, land and water, and you see the magnitude of what we have before us. Keep in mind, the issue of food is not just about what we eat. It's about delivery systems, climate issues, population growth, policy. All of these come into play when you begin to think about the colliding forces that shape the world's food future. While we're thinking globally, we know there's work to do right here at home. More than 16% of households in California experience limited access to food. And almost 16 million children across our nation live in food insecure households. Now, we already do a lot as the university on the food front, particularly in the realm of research. And this is no surprise. Research is one of our strengths. In fact, it was UC research that taught Californians how to remove salts from the alkali soils in vast stretches of the Central Valley. This transformed a barren landscape into one of the world's most productive farming regions. Today, students at UC Santa Cruz are revolutionizing the field of agroecology. At the Berkeley lab, researchers developed a highly efficient cook stove known as the Darfur stove, It's about this big, and it addresses food security issues posed by displaced people in Darfur, and at the same time decreases women's exposure to violence while collecting firewood. At the Berkeley Food Institute, researchers are studying the relationship between pest control, conservation, and food safety on our Central Coast farms. And I would specifically like to acknowledge Ann Thrupp. Ann, where are you? Ann's over there, who is the executive director of the Berkeley Food Institute and has joined us here this morning. I also would note the presence of Berkeley Deans Keith Gillis and Henry Brady. This initiative is rooted in our campuses, and I'm grateful for your participation. Let me go forward with some of the other work we're doing on our campuses. The Cutting Edge Healthy Campus Initiative at UCLA draws all members of the campus community. The Emerging World Food Center at Davis will stand with 26 other institutes dedicated to food and agriculture on the campus. We have researchers right now up in the Sierra hardwiring our water sources to give us real-time understanding of what to expect in terms of supply. In the fields of California, UC scientists are developing ideas about drought-resistant and drought-tolerant crops. Our A&R division, the 3 national labs, every single one of our 10 campuses, all engaged in comprehensive and complex research on issues related to food in the broadest sense of the term. This is the UC way. We do much, but together we can do more, and that's the purpose of this initiative. The Global Food Initiative will expand the UC tradition of innovative research. In addition to agriculture, other disciplines will play major roles. Law, humanities, health, education, environmental studies, all are being integrated into the food research spectrum. In my early time on our campuses, it's very clear that some of the most exciting research often occurs when multiple disciplines come together around a single research topic. Multidisciplinary research for this critical challenge, therefore, is paramount. And we will leverage the research to address public policy issues on sustainable production and distribution of healthy food at the state, national, and global levels. The initiative will span all other elements of day-to-day life at the university, from campus operations to curriculum, public policy, to public service. Student engagement is key. The students already, in fact, lead in this arena, so the initiative supports that leadership. That's why today I'm announcing the launch of the President's Global Food Initiative Student Fellowship Program. The Office of the President will provide $7,500 to each UC campus to fund 3 $2,500 fellowships each. At the campus's discretion, the fellowships will go to undergraduates or graduate students to fund student-generated research, related projects, or internships that focus on food issues. Consider it seed money, if you will, as we begin our work through this initiative. But the new fellowships are just the beginning. Through our food purchasing power, we will encourage sustainable farming practices and serve nutritious fare in our dining halls. We will export the food pantries and farmers markets that exist on some of the campuses to all of the campuses. We will work with faculty and students to integrate food issues into more undergraduate and graduate courses. We will expand experiential learning throughout the university, including developing demonstration gardens on every campus. We will enact new policies to allow more small growers to serve as suppliers for the university. We will deploy data mining of existing data. Doing so, I think, will help us develop insights and action plans for climate change and California agriculture. And we will undertake all of this under our public service mission. You know, at the university, we have the education mission, the research mission, and the public service mission. This means, for example, working with local school districts to develop healthy and sustainable dining options for K-12 students. Through the A&R division and the individual campuses, we've already started to engage in this work, and collectively we can do more. The initiative will support all of these efforts. The idea behind the initiative is that as we learn more on our campuses and in our laboratories and communities, we will be able to export the best working practices to other campuses, to California and beyond, just as we do now with our science. The food arena, I understand, is a big tent. I know there's some differences among those gathered beneath it. What should be grown? What methods should be used to grow it? You know, those sorts of fundamental questions. The point is we need everybody. And when there are disagreements, the university will bring an institution to bring people together and to help find common ground based on science. I think, for example, we can all agree that healthy food is better than unhealthy food. We can all agree that in a world in which 1 billion people go to bed hungry each and every night, that's morally unacceptable. And we can all agree that we need to steward our resources, our land and our water, with agricultural and consumption practices that ensure these essential resources will be there not just for this generation, but for generations and generations to come. So, we have a big project underway, and only a big university can take it on. And that's why it's the University of California Global Food Initiative. Thank you very much, and I want to appreciate you all being here. And we'll take a few questions if anybody has a question. All right. Oh, there's one.
Can you give some examples of the policies that you'll be changing to incorporate more small farmers?
We are already changing some of our food procurement policies that will enable more growers to compete for the food contracts at the university. So that's one example. Yeah.
Is there one thing you could point to that people would see first or right away, like something?
You know, besides me.
Okay, the second thing.
I think you will see. I think the first thing is the announcement of the fellowships this morning, because the campuses now are going to start figuring out how they want to. Do they want to have a competition? Do they want to, how they want to design their own programs? They may want to augment or supplement what I'm putting in as the seed money. So we'll see that right away. I think you'll see the best practices at some of our campuses being exported system-wide right away. And I think right away you will see a greater public engagement with our communities, including our school districts, but also with our grower communities in terms of food in the California area.
Quick follow-up. May I? I'm sorry. Are there any other new costs associated with all of this? The fellowship money is one.
Right. Right now, we're using the existing resources of the university that are already dedicated to food-related research. We will obviously be looking for other monies to bring into the initiative. I met with the Secretary of Agriculture in Washington, D.C. yesterday, for example. With the passage of the Farm Bill, there's new federal money available on a competitive basis for food and nutrition research. We are right in there. We always compete well at the federal level, so we'll be doing that as well.
That was my question about the sustainability. There's sustainability of food, but of the funding. What about other partnerships with California? Because sometimes, as you know, it's difficult to get money from the federal government when things happen.
Well, I think there's a lot of area for partnership here. I mean, with the school districts, with communities, I'm going to leave here and go to Sacramento and speak with the state agriculture board. So I think there are a lot of different types of partnerships. And remember, we're the leading recipient of federal research monies in the country now. So if that's the field of competition, we'll take it on.
All right.
Mayor?
Thank you. So I just first of all want to thank you and the effort you're putting forward to it. It's extremely exciting and very comprehensive. So my question is your office going to oversee the development of all of these initiatives? And if so, are you going to have some timelines and some deadlines? Like after 5 years, what do we expect? Or after 10 years,
We have basically a council that includes faculty members from each of our campuses, as well as A&R and the labs. And we at the Office of the President, we've convened the council. We also have partners like Alice, for example, who are helping us and advising us as we move through the initiative. We have projects that we see as immediate, term, and I spoke about a few of those a minute ago. But we're also looking at long-term, medium, and long-term research projects that are underway. The council itself is now working on what are the benchmarks or what are the things that we want to see the needle move on. So that will be generated out of the faculty themselves.
It couldn't be a more important project, so I think for all of us, and everybody who lives on the planet, this is a critical issue.
I totally agree, and I think one of the beauties of the University of California is the fact that you have unity and diversity within the system at the same time, and you've got amazing, amazing talent among the faculty and the students. Okay?
For the media here, we do